So Wegmans is finally open 26th of October
Okay,
2019. Huh?
it's actually the 27th of October. Where have I been? Anyway, Wegmans, the new supermarket just opened. That's in the Brooklyn Navy Yard along what used to be Admiral's Row.
Oh, eating our hand.
Many years ago, that's where the admirals or officers used to stay in the Brooklyn Navy Yard when it was used back in those days, like during World War II, to send people off to war. That's where some of the ships used to be. But anyway, so that area now is now turned into something very good, which is a supermarket,
That
Wegmans
opened up today. It's the first Friday.
supermarket, and I decided let me stop by there. There are lots of people in there. It was really amazing to see so many people. Uh, we really need a supermarket down in this area by the Brooklyn Navy Yard. I mean, I've been in other supermarkets before and I haven't really seen this, but I guess maybe people just love the brand Wegmans. There's something good about it, I guess, positive. So we'll see. But let me just say the store hours are from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And that's every day from what I see, the sign out there. There's there's a parking lot out there. So, however, from what I saw, it states that if you spend like $15 and up, you get free parking. So apparently, you'll have to have your receipt to be able to show that. I'm not sure how that works. Which way? Maybe you have to go through when you exit, probably the security gate something. But anyway, so that's $15 you spend at least, and then you get free parking. It's very difficult down in this area to park. So let me just say that many people may be tempted to come in there and just park their car because there's a lot of towing down in this area. You have the NYPD tow pound, which is located off Navy Street, over there by Sand Street, and just being in a no standing zone, the ticket plus the parking fee comes out to around like $300. So you can understand why people will be tempted to park their car or vehicle in there. So there's the coffee right there as soon as you go in. Brewed coffee. And I see pizza to the other end. Lots of activities. There's also a bar right there. You can see a bar upstairs. And coming into the building or into the Navy Yard off Flushing Avenue on the right hand side, there's also a bar there and like a restaurant. I guess you can go upstairs too. So that area. So I'm not sure how long, what the hours are, but they're probably the same. Maybe they close at 10 o'clock because typically bars tend to be open a little bit late. So I'm not sure if the bar may be still open after the supermarket closes at 10 o'clock. But that would make sense because, if you're going to go to a bar, who goes to a bar before 10 o'clock? So most likely the way it's situated, the bar and the restaurant is kind of like off to the side from the supermarket. So more than likely after hours, people may be able to come in there and park their car and have a drink. The good thing about this supermarket is that, as I said, there's the parking, because it's very difficult to go to supermarkets in Brooklyn. Most of the time you don't have any parking if you have a car. So I would assume that a lot of people who own their own cars or vehicles or what have you will be happy to go over to the Brooklyn Navy Yard and do their grocery shopping. You know, because without that you'll have to like walk with a cart and or have it delivered. A lot of times you see many of the supermarkets, they have deliveries. Vans would come and bring groceries. Whereas here, lots of people have their own vehicles, so they might as well drive over there, park, and get the cart, put their stuff in there in the trunk, and drive out. I saw a different range of meats in there. Some are affordable, some are very expensive. I think I saw one for maybe $50 something a pound, which is kind of expensive. There's also venison there. Venison, of course, is deer meat. So you don't usually see deer meat. At least not that I'm familiar with in the supermarkets in Brooklyn. You don't usually see that. But that's kind of on the expensive side. So not too many people might want to buy that. So if you're a hunter, you might as well get your own deer. Get your own free meat by going hunting. That's the venison right there. Lots of choices of bread and cheese.
This is venison, 12 ounce, 32.99. Venison is
So $32.99 for 12 ounces of venison.
wow.
I think I remember eating venison many years ago when I was up in Maine, a long time ago. Uh, Customs officer invited me and somebody else, and we ate some venison. I think it was almost like a kind of festive atmosphere in there, that people were kind of like, wow, like you have somewhere to go on a Sunday. That's how it felt like, you know, like somewhere special, because look at all these people. Usually you never see so many happy looking people going to a supermarket, but that's the impression I got. On the radio earlier today, I heard a lady who was over there. She said she came all the way from Harlem to shop here. So that's quite a trip. If you take the train to Harlem, that's like maybe close to an hour. To get up to Harlem, especially on a Sunday, you have to get down like maybe the A train to the. You have to take, if she counts either on the F, she can get to the A. If she doesn't take the F, it's a good distance to walk from the Navy Yard to the A station in High Street. So, and then you have to get to either the number 4 or number 6 train up to Lexington Avenue to get up to Harlem on the east side, or the D on the west side at 125th Street. And St. Nicholas Avenue. That's where the A train, the A and the D, I believe. So to get here, you think about maybe at least 2 trains. The A you can take from St. Nicholas, 125th Street, let's say she lives around there. We can come all the way down or switch to the F. So that's like the second train. So it must have been worth it that she came all the way down here to shop at Wegmans. From what I see, they have a lot of quality food in there. I don't see like a lot of sugary stuff, the street stuff, all that candy stuff. I didn't really see that stuff. The kind of stuff that makes people gain too much weight with empty calories. So I guess they have a reputation to have good food. There's cereals right there. Of course, cereals tend to have sugar. So people have to be careful eating cereals. But like some of the garbage food that you see in some of the other supermarkets with the packed and loaded with sugar, I didn't really see that there. They have some good cuts of meats and vegetables.
Everything else is just beverages.
Special K cereal.
That's terrifying. That those heavy seating styles. Yeah. I mean,
So there are lots of good bread. I saw some good wheat bread, lots of grains like granola grains, nuts, and so forth. Not so much of the kind of junk, the fattening stuff. Like in Europe, like in France, you don't really see a lot of sugary stuff in the supermarkets. From what I remember when I used to go over there to France. The kind of junk food that we have here, I think it's just about illegal over there. But here in the U.S., the government just about lets anything, if it's food, the FDA allows it. So you see people consume a lot of empty calories, lots of sodas, and so forth. Easily gain weight, which would affect the health. But like in France, for example, you see a lot of wine in the supermarkets. I was surprised to see so many bottles of wine. It's just like how you see water here, you see a lot of wine there. And out in California, I remember some of the supermarkets. I saw wine being sold. Of course, liquor, the liquor license it varies by state. And New York State is still one of those states. It's kind of like tough selling liquor. I mean, here you got like beer and so forth. That kind of stuff you find in the supermarket here in New York State. But out in California, you do see a lot of wine. Like at Albertson, those supermarkets, Albertson, you see wine out there. But I believe it has something to do with the wine industry kind of like lobbying so that you don't have too much wine in the supermarkets. So they have to sell wine through these liquor stores, because if you sell a lot of wine through supermarkets, if you can buy wine in supermarkets, that would take away revenue from the liquor stores, and they pay a lot of money for their license. So that's how they control the industry. And that's the reason you're not going to see a lot of wine in the supermarkets in New York. because it's a state licensing to sell liquor. But out in California, they have the big wine industry, so it's kind of different out there. There's some flowers right there.
Wow. Right.
Sunflower. There's more bread. So I heard it on the radio today that this supermarket and I guess the area around it, they hired maybe around 500 people, which is quite a lot of people. And then there's some other buildings too that's close by. They probably be opening up to sell some retail there. I'm not sure whether they're going to be selling clothes or what types of merchandise they be selling, but apparently more jobs will be created in the area, so which is good.
Parking lot out here.
We need some good permanent jobs. So there's the parking lot right there outside.
Seven a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week. These are the cashiers.
So it's 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. That's a correction. I just hit myself there. 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Parking is free if you spend $15. So Wegmans.
Hey Charlotte, I'm gonna tell you what I told Buddy earlier because we need to watch our time, okay?
Yes, that's good. Discipline that little kid there. Watch your tongue, little kid.
We got grand opening. Sunday, October 27th, 7 a.m. That's the day. Let's see. How do I get out of here? No, over here.
See, that's my first time walking through there, so I'm not even sure how to get out. This is the first day they finally opened it up to the public.
So this is the Brooklyn Navy Yard. This is where those ships set out during World War II. Parking lot holds a lot. Look how many vehicles in here.
Okay. 7